Yo, good people, what is up? So before we get into this video, man, I first want to shout out, man, one of the good people and probably one of the most underrated YouTube content creators, man, we have here in the YWC. This is shout out to Juggernaut 097, man. He is one sub away from 400, so if you guys can give him a sub and check out his videos, that would be much appreciated. His channel is in the link below. And if you check out his channel, man, I think you're going to really enjoy it. He does WWE, AEW, Impact. He does unboxing videos, reviews, predictions, all that good stuff. So go ahead, man, if you can, man, check out and subscribe to Juggernaut 097. And honestly, I don't think you would be disappointed whatsoever. What is goody, everyone? This is the kid, DC Wrestling, back at it again with another video. And now today, in my humble opinion, for this channel, this is the start of WrestleMania week. Now, I know WrestleMania week technically starts Monday, but got a lot of videos coming out this weekend in terms of WrestleMania, stand and deliver WrestleMania predictions, plus a SmackDown review tomorrow. And then, so many, videos coming out in terms of reviews the week of WrestleMania week. So what better way to start WrestleMania week on the channel to not just do or talk about a normal WrestleMania video? Because no, people, this is not, and you can see by the title and the thumbnail, this is not your typical WrestleMania retro review. I know a lot of you are probably looking at the title right now and like, what the heck is going on? So in today's video, as you can see, I'm going to give you all, in my humble opinion, and my reasons to why I feel like that WrestleMania 28 is just slightly overrated. Now, I'm not saying it's fully overrated, because I know you guys are going to be in the comment section like, oh, DC, you're not a real wrestling fan. You wasn't there back in 2012. You don't understand how big WrestleMania 28 was. Now, if you look at it, WrestleMania 28, it wasn't a bad show. Way better than WrestleMania 27, if I'm being honest. I mean, look at the buy rate. They got a 1,217,000 buy rate, which is the highest, grossing buy rate of a WWE show in history. So that's a pretty big deal. You had the end of an era, which, even though the end of an era tagline didn't really make any sense, you had the end of an era, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker just putting on a masterclass display of storytelling. You had CM Punk and Chris Jericho to decide on who's the best in the world go at it in the co-main event of WrestleMania. And plus, and one of the big things, you had the once-in-a-lifetime, two generations colliding, John Cena versus The Rock. Probably one of the most ultimate dream matches still to this day. But that's the thing, people. When you talk and you look back at WrestleMania 28, especially with next, Friday marking 10 years since WrestleMania 28, those are really the three matches. No, those are really the only three matches that we talk about on this show. Undertaker and Triple H, Punk and Jericho, and The Rock and Cena. If these three matches didn't happen, or better yet, one of these matches only happened on the show, then many people would have looked at this show even 10 years later and said, oh yeah, I mean, it was kind of a mad WrestleMania. The main event was dope, but the other matches didn't really deliver. And that's the thing. If you take those three matches away, what else is there on the card? But DC, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, World Heavyweight Championship, 18 seconds. That's a big moment. Yeah, it is. Sheamus beating the World Heavyweight Champion in 18 seconds. I mean, never been done before in WrestleMania history. My God. But if you look at the match quality-wise, I mean, it was the worst match of the show. It was bad. Now, the moment was crazy because it came out of nowhere. Like, nobody expected Sheamus to knock DB's lights out in 18 seconds. But, I mean, if you look at it match-wise, it was probably one of the worst matches on the show. You had Kane and Randy Orton, who, let's be real, Kane and Randy Orton. You got one Hall of Famer in Kane, one future, Hall of Famer in Randy Orton. But this match wasn't a WrestleMania film match, This match, honestly, was just your typical 2011 SmackDown matchup. Honestly, this match really would have been better if it took place on an episode of SmackDown, probably leading up to WrestleMania. rather than being on the WrestleMania card. Now, granted, they would have a pretty good matchup at Extreme Rules a few weeks later, but if you look at the match at WrestleMania, I wasn't feeling, obviously, nobody wasn't really feeling it, and Kane pretty much, well, he didn't really squash Randy, but he beats Randy Orton. It was kind of a one-sided, if I think about it. You had Big Show and Cody Rhodes, which, yes, Big Show wins his first Intercontinental title ever. It's a huge moment. Yes, I know it was a huge moment for him. It was a huge moment for his family. But to me, looking back at it, was it really the match wasn't, the match lasted for 5 minutes. Big Show pretty much beats up Cody for most of this match. And even Big Show winning the Intercontinental title, despite the fact that it's his first freaking title, winning the first IC title, of his career, it still didn't really feel like a big WrestleMania moment. Kelly, Marina Menounos, Beth Phoenix, I didn't care. Like, it just, you guys see what I'm starting to get at. Like, I'm telling you, Undertaker, Triple H, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Rock, and John Cena, those guys put this show on their back and they carried it. Those guys are the reason why this WrestleMania is being praised so wonderful, why it got a huge buy rate. I'm telling you, if those 3 matches were taking place on this show, we all would have been sitting up there April 1st, 2012, been like, yeah, this WrestleMania was kind of like WrestleMania 27, I wasn't really feeling it, nothing really happened. Oh. That's what I say. That is why I feel like that this show, and also you even had Team Johnny and Team Teddy, Team Johnny actually wins. Like, come on, like, disgrace to freaking Teddy Long players. But yeah, like that, like, I'm telling y'all, people, those 3 matches, it's really those 3 matches that saved WrestleMania and what made WrestleMania 28 so talked about. That's why I say that when I look back, especially when I look back 10 years later, looking back at WrestleMania 28, I look at the show and I'm like, it's an okay show, but it's not like, because again, people praise it. They people be giving it 10 out of 10. People saying, "Oh, this WrestleMania was stupendous. This WrestleMania was epic." And yeah, again, Undertaker, Triple H, Punk, Jericho, Rock, and Cena, you're gonna have nostalgic with that. I especially do with Cena and Rock. But again, I'm telling you, man, those 3 matches saved this show, and that is why I say this WrestleMania is just a tad bit overrated. Not fully overrated, because you guys I'm telling you, there's going to be someone that's probably going to twist my word and say, oh, he said it was overrated. He said it was a bad WrestleMania. I'm not calling it a bad WrestleMania. I just feel like that when I hear lots of people, a majority of wrestling fans, majority of wrestling personnel rating this show, I feel like that they rate a little bit too higher than it really should be. It's a solid 8. I'll give it that. It's a solid 8. But again, outside of those 3 matches, this show was kind of just lame. Just lame, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah. So that is why I think, guys, WrestleMania 28 is slightly overrated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. If you want to if you want to, put your little comments in the comment section and say and explain why you think WrestleMania 28 is a great show, then hey, do it, man. Like, I appreciate all comments. I appreciate all opinions. That's what the wrestling community is all about. So, and also, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like for more content. The channel's been picking up steam like insane. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been the Kid, DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.